I am currently on the premises of the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executive, operators of the Aayalolo bus service. In October last year, the bus service was forced to shut down due to technical and financial challenges. However, they resumed operations this year, June. I am here to find out from the operators the progress made so far since they resumed in June.
We started with the Kaswa Accra CBD, and then we scaled it up to the corridor on Amasaman, that's Amasaman Accra. And then on September the 2nd, that is sometime next week, we're going to go to Adenta Accra. Now, what we are doing differently from what used to be the case was to do what we call the morning and evening peak services. You will notice that in Accra, the passenger throughput or the passenger density is mostly in the mornings and in the evenings. And so we decided to do just the peak services in the morning from, let's say, from Kaswa all the way to Accra. And then we park the buses in the evening, we do the reverse trip. So basically, that's what we've been doing so far. Assessment we have done over the period, since June when we started, is very positive. The passenger numbers are growing, and we hope to achieve the objective of moving large numbers of people from one origin to a destination. You would have noticed that when we introduced Aayalolo, we were doing the ticket system. We were doing a bus card system where people who bought the bus cards would have value on them. It just works like the way you have your credit on your phone. And you buy in bulk, and then when you get on board the bus, there is no conductor. You use your card to validate, and then an entry is open for you to enter and sit on the bus. That is if you have a valid card or a card with value on it. That is one of the problems that we had because a lot of people didn't quite understand the system. And then with the technical glitches here and there. But for now, what we are doing is we are using the human element. We've introduced the human element where people are on board the buses and are selling tickets out. But eventually we'll go back to the card system if we perfect the system very well. In the past, what we're doing was that every 10 minutes, buses were moving, irrespective of the time of day. You get it? So there were times where people would see the buses almost half empty or empty completely. Because the buses were rolling at every 10 minutes, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 5 o'clock in the morning. And we noticed that there was a lot of loss in the system because buses were moving the off-peak period between 10 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You hardly would see a lot of people on the corridors. And these long buses moving, it created a lot of loss in the system in terms of operational loss. I mean, because you put in fuel and you go half empty and that kind of thing. So the business was not sustainable. So what we've done is to just do the peak service, the morning peak and then the evening peak. Then we are assured of carrying a lot of passengers. And so far it's been good. Since we started in June, we've made marginal gains that is taking care of the process in terms of fuel, driver allowances, overhead costs and so on. So it's been good.
I am from the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executive, the operators of the Aayalolo bus service. Currently, I am at the Tudu on-street terminal where the Amasaman and the Kaswa corridor terminate. Over here, passengers who want to go to Amasaman, Kaswa or Achimota come here to pick the buses to their various destinations. I am here on the grounds to check for myself what is happening with Aayalolo bus service after they resumed operations in June. Here with me is Mr. Constance Edusu, the dispatch in charge of the Tudu terminal. Good afternoon, Mr. Constance.
Good afternoon.
Tell us what is currently happening with Aayalolo.
Yes. So early June this year, we started. We came back on the road again with a limited number of what we call a limited service for Achimota we are running 5 buses for Fanko and 5 buses for Amasaman. And that's on the Amasaman corridor. On the whole, we have 15 buses running. And Kaswa has 11 buses on the Kaswa corridor. Now with the peak, what we want to do is to ensure that at least our buses are filled up with passengers before we dispatch them to go. So in the mornings, we do same from all the terminals. We get 5 buses coming from Amasaman to Tudu here. Because Achimota, when we started, we're not making the passengers number. So Achimota buses are starting off from Pokwasi. So Pokwasi, we have 5 buses every morning. And in the evening, we combine Pokwasi with Amasaman. So on the whole, on every day, we have 10 buses in the peak evening going to Amasaman. And we have 5 buses going to Fanko. And we have 11 buses going to Kaswa. Some go to Obum, some go to Ofako. Aayalolo still makes travel time a bit shorter. So we still have the advantage. And we are still encouraging people to come join us. And also encouraging them to try to stand in the buses to help us sustain ourselves on the road.
So I've been speaking with Mr. Constance Edusu, who's the dispatch in charge of the Tudu terminal, and he's been talking to me about the current situation of Aayalolo.